Atlanta legend Young Thug was supposed to come out of jail and return as hip-hop's superhero, but instead, he just walked into the biggest L of his career.
Outside of Atlanta, he is putting on a master class in how to take a good brand and totally fuck it up. And nobody wants to say it. Every time you see him, there's an embarrassing look that comes with it.
Kendrick got put it on, nigga. You're a superstar. You don't ran up here a few hundred M, but you ain't put nobody on though. You see what I'm saying? You ain't even put Keem on. Keem ain't big. Keem love hell, man. He can't sell no ticket. Watch out. Like, man, watch out. The people only buying your label because of Wham. They not buying your label because no Amigo. Them nigga in the red. Them nigga ain't making no money on.
For the past week, new phone call conversations with Young Thug have been getting leaked literally every single day, destroying his reputation by the minute. But how are these calls even surfacing? Well, as we're about to see, in addition to a new 2-hour-long interrogation also hitting the internet, hearing him fully cooperate with law enforcement, this raises the question: has Young Thug become the very thing he swore to destroy?
Until now, you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
Promises, make promises. Just we'll keep promises. Whatever you anytime you ever make one know anything, tell me. I'll tell you anything. But don't tell the world.
What you number?
Yes, you can.
Hey.
I don't have your number.
Well, give it to me. If you ain't giving it to her,
If you're tapped in with rap music at all, then you probably know that getting labeled as a quote snitch is basically a death sentence for your career. And while if we're being honest, the majority of fans, including myself, have very little experience with street politics or care about anything other than if the music is good. Meanwhile though, for Young Thug,
he would be truly humble under God. That's what Thug means.
despite his lawyer making up this ridiculous acronym, it's no secret that Thug was very active in the streets. And just by reading his tweets, clearly Young Thug is against being a rat. With, of course, prime example number 1, his former YSL star, Gunna.
I literally don't hate nobody in the entire world but him. I literally hate him. I swear to God, I hate him.
If you a rapper and you a rat, you gotta just go gospel, twin, Thug tweeted. But despite trying to blackball Gunna from the industry for the past 2 years, as we're about to learn, Young Thug is now facing these same accusations that he so aggressively dished out. However, first we have to understand how we even got here. Prior to chatting for hours on the jail phone and throwing random shots at guys like Lil Durk and Quavo, Young Thug was instead collaborating with them on his way to becoming a pioneer in the genre. Thus, following countless legendary mixtapes throughout his early career, when the time finally came for his debut album, Young Thug was already a star. Loaded with multiple guest features, who he also talks about on his leaked jail calls, So Much Fun would debut at number 1, a career first for Young Thug. However, while he continued to ride his momentum with projects like Slime Language 2 in 2021, a compilation album featuring his YSL label, including Gunna, as the year of 2022 rolled around though, everything changed forever.
You're looking at Young Thug's mugshot. The Fulton County District Attorney claims the rapper, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams Jr., is part of a gang that used violence, drugs, and even murder to make money. Williams is one of 28 suspected members of the Young Slime Life charged with racketeering.
We are getting exclusive access inside the Cobb County Jail. We've been asked not to show rapper Young Thug, but we're only about 3 cells down from him.
In May of 2022, Young Thug along with 27 other YSL members were arrested in Atlanta on potential RICO charges. Also included in those 27 was Gunna, whose viral mugshot you can see here, but at this point, there appeared to be no issues between him and King Slime. However, that was until December of 2022 though, when it was announced that Gunna, whose legal government name is seriously Sergio Kitchens, had been released from prison after taking a plea deal. And with this viral video in particular surfacing onto the internet, showing Gunna answer every question in court.
I'm affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and a gang, and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
Verbally agreeing that YSL is indeed a gang that, quote, must end, after then getting released nearly 2 years before the rest of the YSL crew and Young Thug. Initially, it was unclear how the label boss felt about Gunna's plea deal. But considering that this message right here appeared on the video screens at Gunna's first concert after prison, pushing to free Jeffrey aka Young Thug, this led to fans thinking everything was straight. During his time behind bars, Thug and his team also released his third album titled Business is Business. Yet, despite appearing to be another successful project debuting at number 2, while I've already covered in a previous video how rappers often use the jail phone to record new music from inside their cell, it turns out though, rather than rapping, instead, Young Thug spent his time on the phone gossiping for hours. Beginning with this leaked call here, revealing his true intentions behind releasing Business is Business.
Bro, I'm trying to drop an album the same day gonna drop, bro. You need to, y'all sent you a song, put a verse on it. I'm an album on the same day he dropped, and it's called Business is Business. Then I'm gonna drop an album the very next week after that. It's gonna be a singing album. I wanted to just be like straight Kanye West tormenting them, like straight, like, oh wow, Thug really dropping an album on the same day this nigga dropping this shit. Like he on bullshit.
This jail conversation between Young Thug and 21 Savage on the other end is just one of these various new leaks. But following his attempt to torment Gunna and drop an album on the same day, out of nowhere in November of 2024, then arrived this surprising news. After clocking a total of 2.5 years behind bars, Young Thug had decided to accept a plea deal himself and was now also being released from the Cobb County Jail, dropping down to instead 15 years of probation, with a condition of his deal too that he must stay away from Metro Atlanta for the next 10 years. Real plea deal Jack, reads Thug's first tweet after prison. At first, back at this time, fans were absolutely thrilled to see Young Thug free and back communicating with us via Twitter. However, as the next few months soon passed, today it is the total opposite. And a lot of these same fans are now begging Thug to please log out of his Twitter. Because rather than, releasing any new music, immediately upon his release from prison, it was instead Twitter, or I guess X, which became Young Thug's go-to method to speak his mind.
Did he do a first day out freestyle?
He didn't do anything.
But to then put any speculation of their friendship to a final end, Gunna, stop acting like we friends on the internet, reads this since deleted post. I don't know you, my guy. Now, besides working on some of each other's biggest hits over the past decade, this tweet was a big exaggerated lie, especially considering that Thug also went on to claim this about Gunna during another freshly leaked clip.
Just had right now, I paid for you to have a number 1 album. You didn't, you know what I'm saying, honestly earn a number 1 album over the weekend, my boy. I paid for that shit. I never said that to him. I never told him that. Cause we just got the plug on that. Like, you never earned a number 1 album. I spent 50 extra grand buying streams, $50,000 buying streams for you.
Insisting that he secretly arranged for Gunna's 2022 album to be artificially botted in order to beat out The Weeknd's Dawn FM album and go number 1. The same bot plug though that Thug would also reference later on with his own manager when strategizing on how to beat out Morgan Wallen.
We still have to deal with Morgan Wallen because he's doing 100,000 every week no matter what. Morgan Wallen, the country guy.
Yeah, what the f*** is this doing? Why the f*** didn't we think to put him on the album? Like, what the f***? You still got that plug, right? The shit we did with none of them, you still got that plug?
Yeah.
You still got that plug like we did with Gunna, he asks. But while faking streams in the music industry is nothing exactly new, as rappers have quietly been trying to inflate their numbers ever since the internet became a thing. However, for Young Thug though, this amount of hate and backlash that he has been receiving is unlike anything he's ever faced in his career. And again, as each new headline just continues to dig him deeper, is this really the end of Young Thug? All Young Thug had to simply do was just drop some new music, and none of this would have ever happened. Keep in mind that typically when a rapper gets released from prison, their hype is at an all-time high. But for Young Thug though, he totally fumbled. Like, how about one of those multiple albums that he had been teasing? Back in March of this year, Young Thug sparked the first speculation that he was finally rolling out his new album. First came a new follow to this new Instagram account, before then, seen here at a Miami Heat game holding up a jersey with the same name across the back. Not to mention Future also tweeting this the following day, the album title which is named after the biggest star in the universe. However, after weeks of online speculation, then arrived this tweet by Thug in April, seeming to confirm its release. It's time. Red Planet.
I just feel big, The name of my album is UY Scooty. I feel like I'm one of the biggest stars. I did a lot foundating this culture and, like the new rap game that's happening right now. I'm like out of this world.
But yet, as more time went on, there was still no sign of Young Thug's long-awaited album. He did put out one new single in April, titled Money on Money featuring Future. But in my opinion, besides being pretty mid, this track definitely flew under most fans' radar.
Mate, Jeffrey, it's good to have you back. It's good to have you back. Like I said, no Pulitzer will be won for this song.
To try and continue his rollout though, Young Thug's next idea involved Coachella, with him and his team deciding to place billboards for fans to see as they enter the festival, reading, "The universe has been too quiet until now." and combined with Thug's close friend, Mariah the Scientist, giving us a specific date for May 9th, which would have also been the 3-year anniversary of his arrest. However, as we unfortunately watched, Young Thug's new album just continued to get delayed. In fact, as of this video, Young Thug is still yet to release a new album since returning from jail. Now over 2 years since his last, besides an old song of his from 2021 getting used on Playboi Carti's album, which had actually featured 2 verses from Gunna originally, and then only 1 new feature for Lil Baby's album back in January. When it comes to music lately, instead, Young Thug has been way more active on Twitter. "I love your mommy toes, mommy so juicy," he posted in June. "ABC, I'm about to..." In addition to another stray diss as well, this time at Kid Cudi, after he testified in the Diddy trial that Diddy literally set his car on fire. "Damn Cudi a rat," reads Thug's since deleted tweet. Yet again, making his stance against snitching and cooperating with the feds publicly clear. Although karma was about to very soon come back to haunt him, the other thing this tweet did was show that, in a way, Young Thug was supporting Diddy, which is definitely not good for your reputation either.
I'm surprised that he's even trying to keep this up, bro. You can't be a rat for testifying at a domestic violence or a crime trial. I get you're mad at Gunna, but bro, you gotta get over it, bro.
However, as the next month of August 2025 rolled around, nobody could have predicted what happened next. When Rolling Stone reached out via email to the Cobb County Sheriff's Office where Young Thug had been being held, a representative confirmed that individuals can indeed obtain public records such as jail calls, similar to how you can for body cam footage, through an open records request. But despite claiming that a few fans have been sitting on these for a while now, the main account responsible for all of these recent Young Thug jail leaks is this page right here. To no surprise, a Gunna fan page. However, our first piece of new evidence though had nothing to do with Gunna. If you can remember, 10 years ago back in 2015, Lil Wayne's tour bus was mysteriously shot at multiple times after one of his shows. And while thankfully no lives were lost, this guy right here, who was a close associate of Young Thug's named Pee Wee Roscoe, aka Jimmy Winfrey, was the one who got charged and sentenced for the 2015 shooting.
Winfrey will spend 10 years in prison for the April incident on I-285, where 2 buses belonging to the entourage for rapper Lil Wayne came under gunfire. Prosecutors say a simmering rap feud and gang tensions led to it. They believe they could pin Winfrey as the gun.
But with rumors swirling that this was either a warning or a hit job sent out by Young Thug and Birdman, who, remember, were beefing heavily with Lil Wayne at the time. According to this 2-hour-long interrogation video though, which mysteriously hit the internet recently, not only does Young Thug cooperate with law enforcement and answer every single question, but then even goes as far as to say this.
Yes. You understand? Okay. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before we ask you any questions and to have a lawyer with you during questioning. You understand that? Yeah. Okay. You have the right to stop answering at any time. You understand that?
Yeah. Well, what is this?
You know Roscoe? Man, that man a fucking scrub. That fool. I'm like, you shot at somebody, bro? But I don't know, because every day nigga grow fucking ball. I don't know. I don't want to block. I don't want to block out y'all case by saying Roscoe didn't do that.
Explaining to investigators that his affiliate, Pee Wee Roscoe, was breaking laws every day, although they continued to reassure him multiple times that he is not being forced to talk to them. Young Thug did not stop there.
Promises. Make promises. Just keep promises. Whatever you anytime you ever think you want to know anything, tell me. I'll tell you anything. But don't tell the world.
What's your number?
Yes, you can.
Hey.
I don't have your number.
Well, give it to me. If you ain't give it to her,
even providing officers with his own personal phone number to contact. Again, for somebody like Young Thug, who we already learned has been so adamant about having no respect for snitching, this was certainly strange. Thug did a podcast with the cops, the top comment jokes, Gunna watching this on a big movie screen with friends and family. Having drawn the newfound label of being a snitch himself, as well as being a hypocrite, including by Quality Control CEO Pierre Thomas, who, after seeing all of this, then joined in on calling Thug a rat, changing his profile picture to this AI-edited image. However, after facing all this backlash and viral hate, Young Thug was forced to speak out. Although he wouldn't stand on it very long. They didn't play my interrogation video in court because I helped my brother, reads this tweet by Young Thug, which was deleted shortly later, #ratware. Arguing that this old audio getting questioned by authorities was actually helping his friend in the bigger picture, which is also why it wasn't shown during his recent case. Immediately after Young Thug's interrogation blew up though, Pee Wee Roscoe came to his defense, addressing the viral rumors.
Politicking, man, Jeff, clean as Listerine, man, clean as Ivory soap, you feel what I'm saying? I done the time, I did that. That's what you supposed to do. When you go in interrogation room, that's what you do. That's him. He did that. He didn't do that. He did what a taxpaying citizen do, a real street. Kept it solid, kept it overly real, you feel what I'm saying? Really tried to pull me out the hole.
Stating that Young Thug is clean as Listerine when it comes to snitching. However, despite taking a plea deal himself and eventually getting out after 10 years, as YSL co-founder Mondo also points out,
a nigga just beat a Rico. Nigga come home, still talking about, oh nigga ratted, nigga a rat, nigga da-da-da. Bro, that's God. That ain't nothing but God biting you back in your ass, bro. Cause you probably been thankful that you just beat a life sentence in a Rico and came home and minded your business and been humble. But instead, you still coming out pushing the rat narrative, bro, and all that, this, that, and the third. Now look, you came back and brought your bitch in the ass. But that ain't the key. And then like Roscoe did 10 years behind this shit, and you just got on the internet tomorrow, a nigga didn't rat on you? Boy, your ass so brainwashed, it's sick.
It's how you gotta move in the streets now, because these dudes be telling. Choke 50 Cent on Instagram about the situation. Which, yo guys, real quick, speaking of Instagram, I'm really trying to grow over there too, so if you don't mind, please make sure to drop me a follow to stay up to date on when new videos are releasing. But with other names such as, of course, 6ix9ine jumping in on the conversation too, trying to scrape any clout that he still can, prior to finally sitting down for an interview addressing the situation. Once again though, Young Thug's first move was to Twitter. We been heard that footage, and nothing Thug said can be misconstrued as snitching, reads this post that Thug retweeted on his account, essentially echoing the same thoughts. Y'all are so gullible it hurts. Gunna fans are so down bad about him flopping that they had to reach for this nonsense. Continuing on to then go back and forth with Atlanta rapper Rollo in another since deleted tweet, where after posting alleged paperwork, which showed us another instance, when Young Thug gave police information, I made an honest mistake saying that we sold Lil Wayne weed, to try and prove that we wasn't beefing with him, responded Thug. See the difference? Stop trying to make me one of those boys, came another post on August 28th. Death before dishonor. This way, kids. However, despite his attempt to stand up for himself and prove his case, other fans still couldn't get over the fact that Thug was, quote, in there singing to cops like The Weeknd.
Is that recently information has come to light that Gunna might not have been the only person who fed the authorities some information. We now have Young Thug responding to allegations of snitching himself.
As debate continued over who was actually the snitch and the unequal standards held between both Young Thug and Gunna, at this point though, the two's relationship was crushed beyond repair. With fans pointing out too that Gunna recently covered up his YSL tattoo that was on his arm, leading to Thug himself commenting, he did say it must end. It was Young Thug's next tweet though, which finally gave us a little hope. Let this music talk, Spida. Again, in my opinion, this is what he should have done this entire time, rather than acting like a petty high schooler over his drama with Gunna. But while jokes also flew that Young Thug's next album was going to have to be a gospel one, despite the situation already having damaged his reputation, things were about to escalate so much worse. Young Thug was on the phone in jail like this, knowing the feds were recording everything he says, reads this viral joke. Now, it is common knowledge that phone calls in prison are always being recorded, not to mention that they even tell you each time.
This call is subject to recording and monitoring. To accept charges, press 1.
But as we also learned earlier, jail phone calls are publicly retrievable by anyone. However, clearly Young Thug did not care, and went on to waste hours on end just chatting over the phone about his so-called friends, never thinking anyone else would hear them. In just this past week though, this Gunna Updates page, as well as your other big accounts such as Kirko for example, have gotten a hold of dozens of leaked phone calls between Young Thug and jail.
Buddy talking about Iceman. Ain't nobody waiting for no Iceman to drop, they waiting for the Spider. Shit, fuck around and call that whole Spider-Man. You tell me that's not going platinum first week if we drop it?
Bro, that's not touching 100K first week, bro.
That's not touching 100K?
No!
A drink this? Drop one that's gonna go
Niggas can't just say they gonna go diamond. What you mean?
Yes, I'm not here to make jokes, Mark.
I ain't gonna say nothing too much. I ain't gonna say too much. Everybody can name a Michael Jackson song, but who Michael Jackson put on?
No, wait, stop that right!
With some fans even speculating that this is a smear campaign on him, yet as each day passed and another new phone call leaked, Young Thug's reputation was collapsing right in front of our eyes.
He gave the jurors the agreement that it's a gang. He said YSL is a gang, and he know people in this on this trial who committed crimes in furtherance of the gang. That means you did it. You saying, you see what I'm saying? You don't know nobody on this case. Yeah. That's a lie. That's a full-blown lie. Nigga, you just made it a Rico case. You just made it the case. Nigga did that shit to get out for a hoe, bro. That how I supposed to be though. Like, ain't no girl supposed to be you and then like. I really be like that. Like, I wish you don't never get no pussy no more. You don't never get another dollar in the world. Like, you don't deserve none. You don't deserve none. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Man, you don't deserve none. Think about niggas like you, Wham, Dirt, Pluto, niggas who I really fuck fuck with who like my brothers who already done like cut ties. Imagine niggas, y'all niggas already done cut ties with a nigga, and then I come and take a nigga and be on the nigga's side after they did what wrong.
Beginning by, once again, expressing in his own words his hatred for Gunna, saying he hopes he never gets any pussy ever again, who, meanwhile, Gunna has quietly been dropping hits and getting in the best shape of his life since his release. But before then also admitting to 21 Savage that Thug actually had a thought at one point that things could have gone different between him and Gunna. That was if other stars like Lil Durk and Lil Baby hadn't already cut Gunna off. However, unfortunately these calls went far beyond just Gunna.
The people only getting buying your label because of Wham. They not buying your label because no Amigo. Them niggas in the red. Them niggas ain't making no money, huh?
The people that like is going over their head, they done linked him. Like Weezy.
Yeah. You know he's gonna go over his head. He's so damn retarded and stupid.
With each new conversation that leaked, also came a new diss at another rapper, including a shot at the legendary Atlanta trio, the Migos, as well as calling producer Weezy Outta Here stupid, who has produced some of Thug's biggest hits, then discussing his frequent collaborators like Lil Durk, Future, and even Drake. Before then, a lengthy rant about both Kendrick Lamar and his cousin, Baby Keem, after it sounds like Kendrick denied him and his friends a feature.
What's up with the boy Durk? Boy Durk?
Yeah.
I don't know. I did a lot of player shit for the boy too though when the boy career went where it supposed to be, man. Pluto, I was really like locked in with him, like get really f***ing with him. But I don't know, he acting a little different. And Drake so stupid, he probably just sent the stupidest condolences like, yeah, bro, sorry for moms, and you know I'm here for you, bro, whatever you need. Just like something stupid instead of giving a nigga some wisdom up. Like me and him ain't been, you know, he ain't never just paid attention. Me and him ain't been tight in a minute.
Yeah.
And it's because he do little lame jump like. I don't know what image you trying to get off to these girls, but you're an idiot, nigga. Like everything you know, a nigga teaching you. I done taught you. I saw the girl, Gorilla. She.
Yeah.
Why don't people say she pretty? That bitch ugly as fuck. Long ass bullshit ass wig, skinny shit. Goddamn, big ass head, big mouth. Man, watch out. Supposed to be a nigga who bless a nigga. That's why them niggas will never be bigger than Drake ever in life. Kendrick, goddamn, put a nigga on. Y'all niggas, you're a superstar. You don't ran up you a few hundred him, but you ain't putting nobody on though. Keem ain't big. Keem love hell, man. Can't sell no fucking ticket. Watch out. I truly believe you do a song on me, Wham, Dirt, Moneybag, Savage. I truly believe we'll have your ass dope.
A dot, can I get a drop? I'm like, brother, nah. Kendrick raps on Squabble Up. But after dissing all of these fellow rappers for no reason though, the one artist who Thug actually showed love to was Lil Baby. Wham, what's understood ain't got to ever be explained, Thug posted. I'm with you forever.
I wouldn't ever do no shit like that, especially to no nigga like Wham. That nigga solid. He really solid. That's one nigga I could say in this world that's really, really solid. He not gonna cross you out. He ain't doing none of that.
As you just heard, Thug had praise for Lil Baby due to him keeping it solid. However, while again I don't claim to be an expert on street politics, this recent leak of his interrogation, then combined with multiple calls bashing his friends for no reason, all of this has led to, for Young Thug, arguably the worst comeback out of jail we've ever seen.
Like, I ain't never been a nigga to pillow talk. I ain't never been a nigga to talk about nobody else in my life on the phone with nobody else. I've never been that type of nigga. These last few days, I've been sitting around like, what the f was I thinking? Like, what I was doing? I
appreciate you saying that.
I think I was just so f***ed up, and I just felt like it was just over. Man, I'm in a cell 23 hours. Like, at this point, I'm just like, man, I don't give a f***. Life, it ain't what I'm thinking it is. Like, I'm just talking, man. At this point, I'm just talking.
To everyone involved in this situation, I'm sorry this is happening, and I hope you guys can forgive me. Thug tweeted on September 7th, I'm moving forward with my life. But in addition to also sharing a fit pic on his story and the classic Playboy Cardi method of damage control, while fans continue to try and cope, remembering that he has gave us Jeffrey and Barter 6, at a moment though when Young Thug had the entire world waiting on his big comeback after jail, instead the only headlines that he's made are for petty gossip and Twitter fingers. Something that Metro Boomin is also guilty of too with his new album. Click my new video on screen to find out why.